Massive Dodgers signing update that has serious implications for the team. We get into exactly what I'm talking about in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Myself and Brad J will bring you everyday Dodger content, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. As you know, the Dodgers are going to have an interesting offseason once again. Every offseason is interesting with this front office, the best front office in baseball. And we know the Dodgers like to spend money. I mean, the last couple years, they have spent a record amount of money to try to make this team better. And now it could seem like they're going to do that again this offseason. Dodgers predicted to cut ties with $10 million All-Star to sign Kyle Tucker. Tucker is going to be the most coveted free agent in this upcoming offseason. And we already have some sources that are predicting the Dodgers to sign Tucker, to bring him to LA, which would honestly be kind of crazy, right? To think that Kyle Tucker, the former Houston Astro, former world champion with the Astros, now with the Chicago Cubs, would come to LA. But that is what some sources are saying. Over the weekend, this article that I'm talking about on Newsweek was posted a couple days ago, but over this past weekend, Bob Nightingale of the USA Today reported that rival executives were predicting that Tucker would sign with the Dodgers. The worst nightmare for the Cubs, Padres, and Giants, and that is obviously big news. Bob Nightingale usually doesn't get these things wrong. This guy has been covering baseball for a long time, and this guy's always getting the latest scoops on what is going to happen next in free agency and in the baseball movements of, as we know, a lot of transactions are always happening, a lot of trades, a lot of players are always getting signed, and Bob Nightingale is one of those guys that's always kind of breaking the news, right? You remember last offseason, Nightingale was one of the ones that always said that the Dodgers were going to re-sign Teoscar Hernández. That's exactly what happened, right? When there were some sources saying no, that there's other teams. Nightingale always said that the Dodgers are going to go out and sign Hernández. That's what happened, right? So I think this is obviously coming from a good source. Kyle Tucker would be obviously a big addition for the Dodgers in the outfield. And there's obviously going to have, like it says, to make room for Tucker, there's got to be some cuts made, right? There's no doubt about that. Also on Tuesday, a few days ago, Bleacher Report's Joel Reuter, I think that's how you pronounce his name, predicted that Dodgers would acquire Tucker and that two-time All-Star third baseman Max Muncy would have his $10 million club option declined to make room for the signing. If the Dodgers are going to make a serious run at Kyle Tucker as expected, it likely will be accompanied by either shopping Andy Bacchus or shifting Tommy Edman to an infield spot. Edman could slot in at second base. Kim has shown enough to warrant an expanded role. Declining a $10 million option on Max Muncy would clear the hot corner, where, of course, Edman would slide in, who has logged 671 innings in his career at the, of course, third base. So you'd have Edman moving to third. Betts would still be your shortstop, and, of course, Kim and Edman would kind of be platooning there at second. And, Tucker would be one of the outfielders for the Dodgers, right? And I think that would be the lineup for 2026. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I mean, having Tucker with the Dodgers would just mean another, big bat in the lineup. The Dodgers already have the best lineup in baseball on paper. And I think Kyle Tucker would make this team maybe even more unstoppable. Now, you might be saying, what are you talking about, Mike? This team has struggled all year long. They have underperformed. These guys are not that good. There's been a lot of angry fans, a lot of fans kind of giving up on the Dodgers, saying that this team is that they're not very good. Some people saying trade everybody, get rid of everybody, fire Roberts. We've heard it all, right? But let's be honest. This Dodger team is, world champions. They won the World Series last year. I mean, this team, even if they don't win the World Series this year, they're still considered world champions, right? This core of players, right? And this core of players is not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I mean, we're going to see this core come back next season in 2026, regardless of what happens this year. That's why it's never too early to start talking about the offseason, especially with the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are not going to make big changes to this roster when it comes to letting players go. Sure, they might have to let some guys go to sign players, right? That's a given, right? You can't sign everybody and keep everybody. You got to let some people go. So guys like Muncy, can go. Andy Bacchus could be, traded away. There's obviously some guys that, the Dodgers can move away from. But your Betts, your Freeman, your Ohtani, your Yamamoto, these guys are not going anywhere, right? I mean, these guys are the future of the Dodgers. They are the president of the Dodgers, and they are part of the Dodgers for the foreseeable future. And for some of these guys, probably for the rest of their careers, they'll be playing for the Dodgers, playing for the Boys in Blue. So, I mean, the Dodgers have a big opportunity this offseason to sign a very talented left-handed batter in Kyle Tucker, right? I mean, this guy is great. This guy is one of the best hitters of his generation, one of the best hitters in baseball in the last 5 to 10 years. And, he's going to want a lot of money. He's going to want $300, $400 million, right, for his contract. And the Dodgers are one of the few teams that can't afford it, because let's go back to the original list here. I mean, the Cubs? You really think the Cubs are going to pay up? Sure, he's on the Cubs right now, and I'm sure the Cubs would like to keep him because they traded for Tucker, right? They had to give up a lot to get Kyle Tucker. So it's not like they just signed Tucker for nothing, and they had to give up a lot, so they sacrificed a lot. The Padres, no, they're always cheap. They don't pay for anything. The Giants, same thing. The Giants are not, they're cheap. So the Dodgers really have to be favored if you're looking at that list when it comes to offering money or offering a contract to Tucker. I mean, the Dodgers, these guys are not and cannot compete with the Dodgers, right? They just can't. And, maybe the Yankees will pull for him, will make a run for him. The Yankees might, pay up, or maybe the Red Sox. But really, I think, honestly, looking at the way things are setting up, I mean, I think the Dodgers are going to sign Kyle Tucker, right? I mean, and I think it's a real possibility that we have to start actually thinking about even before the season ends. And regardless what the Cubs do this season, I don't think Tucker will be with the Cubs next year. And the Dodgers are going to have a serious opportunity to go out and sign Kyle Tucker if they want to. It just, it's this very strong possibility. What do you think? Comment below. Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker. Do you buy it? Do you think it's all made up? Do you think it's a possibility? But as we know, today is a big day for the Dodgers. They kick off a 3-game set up in San Francisco. Tonight, Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound, so got to tune in. Should be a great series, and Dodgers got a 2.5-game lead right now in San Diego, so hopefully they can build on that lead in the next few days. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers. Woo!